I'm going to be showing you guys how to make black salt 3 different ways at home, and we are starting right now. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? My name is Samantha, and I am the Boho Witch here on YouTube and Artsy Mouse over on Instagram. If this is your first time here and you would like to know how to make some magical crafts, watch witchy unboxings, and learn new things about the craft, then I want to invite you to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss out on another video. Alrighty, so like I said earlier, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make black salt 3 different ways. 2 for magical use and 1 that is food safe. So the first way I'm going to show you is by using old burnt up matchsticks. If you're familiar with my channel, then you know that I light a candle before every single video, so I have a plethora of these stocked up. Our first step in this process is going to be separating the burnt part from the matchstick. After that, we're going to be grinding it into a fine powder. Now, if you have an old coffee grinder, you can definitely use this at home and it will save your hands. And after all the grinding, you can see we have a nice fine powder. Now, I personally still have some chunks in there, but I just pick those bad boys right out. And now we are going to be adding our salt into our powder. So I advise just adding a little bit of salt at a time until you find the right consistency. Trust me on this one, you don't want to be adding too much salt and end up with gray salt instead of black salt. Now, I don't follow any particular measurements in this process, I just gauge mine by the color. So with the first signs of losing any bit of color, I stop adding any of my salt in there. And our last step in this process is bottling it all up. Now you want to leave it in an airtight jar. I live in Hawaii and it is very, very moist in the air, and if it's not sealed tightly, all of this will turn into one big clump, and you definitely don't want that. Now, if you don't have any jars at home, go ahead and seal it in a Ziploc baggie and you're good to go. Alrighty, so our second method I have to show you is making the black salt with the ashes of my sage bundles. As sage is used as a cleanser and black salt is used mostly for protection, I feel making it with the ashes really adds that little extra oomph to the salt. This method is by far my favorite method I've used so far. So just like the first time, we have to grind our ashes to a fine powder. Now, as you can see here, I was left with some pretty big chunks of non-burned herb in my powder. But we need not worry, we just need to sift those out. Luckily, I had a fine mesh strainer that I borrowed from my teapot, perfect to help me with this task. I stretched it over an old jar so I could easily just pour the powder in and sift out the fine material. And now we get to add our salt. Again, add it little by little. We don't want to add too much and end up with gray salt. Alrighty, and now we have our third and final method. We are going to be using some activated charcoal, and this is going to give us our food safe method. So you can add it to any type of dish for any extra protection or banishing. Unfortunately, I was only able to find it in pill form where I live, but I have heard that you can find it in just the powder form and scoop it out, which will make it a lot easier, because these pills are definitely not easy to pull apart. I ended up only using 3 capsules because the charcoal is definitely a more concentrated black, so you don't need as much powder as we used before in the matchstick and herb ash methods. As you can see, the color is a lot richer and a lot darker with the charcoal. Alrighty, so here we have all 3 side by side. First, we have our matchstick process, then we have our herb ash process, and then last, we have our activated charcoal process. So the first 2 are definitely not food safe because you're using herb ash and wood ash, but our third one is because all we used is activated charcoal, and that is safe to consume internally. A few ways you can use your black salt is to wear it on your person to ward off any negativity. You can sprinkle it across your doorway or any threshold for added protection. Another way is to fill a small sachet with black salt and place it underneath your pillow to ward off nightmares. Be careful if you live in a humid place. I would definitely use a Ziploc baggie so it doesn't get everywhere. And you can also fill a small dish and place crystals and magical jewelry in it to cleanse and lend extra protective energy. Alrighty guys, well those are my 3 tried and true methods of making black salt. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them down below in the comments. I usually respond within the day. And definitely let me know if you end up making any black salt. I'm really excited to see how many people actually go forth and make it after watching this video. And I always enjoy all of your comments anyways. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that good jazz. And as always, be kind to each other, do what you will, but harm none. All right, bye guys. Have a great day.